Today we are drafting from the 104 and 10-team format. Let's get into it. Looking at the board so far, pretty standard. Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan, Jamar Chase. Typically what you will see happening in your leagues. Nothing too out of the ordinary. At the 104, we're going to be taking Puka Nacua. I think Puka Nacua is the next best player available. Puka is the clear option there. He's going to be getting a ton of targets. High-powered offense. He's the number one receiver there. Puka is the 104. Now with the 207, looking at who is available, we're going to probably go and take a running back here, and that running back is going to be Omarion Hampton. I really like Omarion Hampton this year. I think he's going to be super productive. With a healthy O-line, with Mike McDaniel being there, I think that the sky is the limit for Omarion Hampton, if I'm being honest. He's super talented. He doesn't deal with a whole lot of injuries as well, so he should be playing pretty much all the games. And when it comes to competition there, I don't really think there is a lot of competition for the running back room, so him as my running back one is something I'm super confident in. I think he's going to be really good. I think him and Chase Brown are going to be similar in production. So if, say, Omarion goes before Chase, take Chase. If Omarion falls to you, take Omarion. I think he's going to be really good and definitely a player to target this year in the second round. If, say, Omarion Hampton doesn't make it back to you, avoid a wide receiver. Don't do two pairings. Take a running back. You want a running back in at least the first two rounds. So either Derrick Henry, if he's available, take him. Last case scenario, take Kenneth Walker. I prefer Kenneth Walker as my running back too, but if you need to, take Derrick Henry. But again, Omarion is going to be really solid this year. I think he's going to be good. So we're taking him here at the 207. At the 304, again, typically I would target running back, but Nico Collins is still available here, and that is the player I'm going to take. I think Nico Collins is going to have a good season. True wide receiver one on his team. He's going to be productive. He's going to be good. No brainer. Him and Puka on the same team. That is an elite lineup right there of two top 10 wide receivers. So we're going to be taking him at the 304. He's going to be productive. Now at the 407, I'm going to be taking a running back, and that is going to be Javonte Williams. I really like Javonte. I've talked about him a lot. 15 points last year, high-powered offense. He's going to be getting goal line touches. Really nobody to compete with there. He's going to be the true running back one. He's going to be getting plays. He's going to be getting possessions. He's going to be solid this year. Him as our running back two, something I'm super happy with. Even if I had to have him as my running back one, I wouldn't be too opposed to it. I really think he could. But again, as our running back two, I'm super happy with that. Cam Scatabo is a player some people might target. I'll be honest, Cam is talented. He's a fun player to watch, but he's crazy. Like, simply put, he's a crazy player. He's doing backflips and stuff while rehabbing with his foot. He's landing terrible. Really, anything can happen with this guy. The style that he plays with is super dangerous. So him as a running back two wouldn't be too comfortable. If he was my flex, like if he was available in the fifth, I would definitely take Cam Scatabo. But he's not available. Obviously, he's going in the fourth round. So we're gonna be fine with Javonte Williams as our running back two. Now we're gonna go and we're gonna take a wide receiver here. Looking at who is available, we have Jalen Waddle, Terry McLaurin, Luther Burden. A lot of people are super high on Luther Burden. I personally am not, but I am high on Jalen Waddle. And as a player I'm going to be taking here, I really like Jalen Waddle. I think him as the wide receiver one on the Broncos, a team that likes to throw the ball. He's going to be getting a ton of targets. He's going to be really good this year. Having him in our flex is something I really like, so we're going to be taking him here at the 504. Looking through at the board at who is available, I'm going to take DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift is my go-to guy in the fifth and sixth round. Depending on where he's available. Typically he's available in the sixth round. Going to be productive. Going to get at least 60% of the snaps in my opinion. Kyle Monunga is not a player to worry about. I think he's going to be really good. So we're going to take him here in the sixth round. I think he's going to be super productive for us. Next up is going to be another running back. I don't really like Christian Watson or Marvin Harrison here. I'm going to take Travion Henderson. I've taken him before in all my videos. Travion, he has the upside. We've seen what he can do with Ramondre Stevenson being out. So any chance that Ramondre gets injured, Travion is definitely a plug and play, somebody you want to be playing. While Ramondre is there, he's going to be a bit more capped, but there is a belief and there is a hope that eventually as the season goes on, he takes over majority of the snaps. So he's definitely a player to take in the seventh round if he is available. If not, you can go for another running back like a Montgomery or a Tootin or one of these receivers as well. Just kind of get that receiving upside. Next up is where I'm going to be taking Tucker Kraft. Again, I really like Tucker Kraft. I think he's going to be productive. Almost 15 points per game last year. He played really solid. You remove Romeo Doubs, you removed Dontavian Wicks. There's less congestion when it comes to targets. So now it's going to be just kind of him, Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, and Matthew Golden. So I think he's going to be really good this year. He's personally my favorite value tight end to be taking later on. I think he's a top 5 tight end overall. In the 9th round, it's going to get a bit interesting here. So there's going to be a bunch of different options, players we can target. Quarterback is a position I think we can avoid. Looking at the team so far, it looks like everybody's drafted a quarterback except for us. So I think holding off on a Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence is completely fine. Tight end, again, we don't need a tight end. We have Tucker Kraft, so we don't need a tight end as well. I'm probably going to go and take a wide receiver here, as I'm not really too kind of fond of the running backs that are here. So I'm going to take Josh Downs at the 904. Another player that I really like this year, Josh Downs. I think he's going to be super productive. I think he's going to be elite. I think that he has potential to be a nice wide receiver 2 on his team, as well as a wide receiver 2 in fantasy purposes. I think he's going to be super productive. He's going to get targeted a lot. As long as nobody is signed onto the Colts, Josh Downs is going to be really good this year. So taking him in the 9th round for me is a no-brainer. The system is pushing kind of quarterbacks, and I think we probably will take a quarterback here in the 10th round. I'll take Justin Herbert. I've spoken about Justin Herbert. I think he's going to be really good. He should be super elite this year. Healthy O-line. The team's looking good. Mike McDaniel calling the shots. I think he's going to be super good. So we'll be taking him there. Now looking at the wide receivers and running backs. Again, nobody really too eye-appealing. So I'm going to go and actually target a defense here. I'm going to be taking the Los Angeles Rams in the 11th round. I think that the Rams are going to be super good this year. Myles Garrett, McDuffie, possibly Aaron Donald coming back. It just makes sense to be taking them. A lot of the elite defenses are going to be coming off early. I mean, you already saw the Texans coming off in the 9th. People like the Texans because they have an easier schedule. They're also a super defense-minded team, so them kind of coming off here in the 9th makes a lot of sense. Broncos as well are another elite defense, nice schedule. Rams have a bit of a tougher schedule, but I think the talent is there to justify taking them. I think they're going to be super productive, so we'll be taking them in the 11th round. Now looking through it, who is available in the 12th round. I'm actually going to go and take Casey Concepcion. This is a player I don't really take that often in the 12th round or at all in drafts, honestly. He's on the Browns, and I, as a Cleveland Brown fan, know that they're not going to be super productive, but if anybody was to be productive there, it probably would be Casey Concepcion. I think he has a really good shot at being really solid this year, so he's definitely a player I'd like to target there. In the 13th round, we already know what's happening. We're taking Brandon Aubrey here, the best kicker in the league. If you don't take him here, he's not going to come back to you on the turnaround. He's coming off earlier, so he's definitely a player we're taking a shot on. We don't need a defense anymore, so we're kind of just looking for depth. 14th, Patrick Mahomes. Again, not likely that Patrick Mahomes will be available on the 14th pick. He probably will most likely be taken earlier, and then it'll be vice versa where somebody takes a different quarterback later. But in the chance that he does fall because of the injury and stuff like that, definitely take him. He's going to be elite. We can swap him out for Justin Herbert, or we can trade him away. Again, he has the name value and stuff like that. And then with our last pick, I'm going to be going and taking Deebo Samuel here with our last pick in the 15th. I think Deebo Samuel has a really good shot at being super productive this year. Ricky Pearsall out for the season, so automatically Deebo becomes the wide receiver 2 there. Mike Evans currently dealing with an injury, probably will be dealing with this injury going into the season, and he's probably going to miss games, so Deebo Samuel will be productive. And even with Mike Evans playing, I still think Deebo Samuel could be around that 10 to 12 points per game range. So getting a player like that in the 15th round is really solid. He might go like a bit earlier in drafts and stuff like that, but I think overall there's a chance that he falls late just because people don't really keep up with fantasy news. But looking at our team, we have Justin Herbert, Omari, and Hampton. Again, 2 Chargers, but I'm really high on the Chargers this year. I think they're going to be really good. Javonte Williams, really good running back. As a running back, too, I think he's solid. Puka Nacua, Nico Collins. That is 2 wide receiver ones, 2 top 10 wide receivers, in my opinions, on our team. Tucker Kraft, top 5 tight end. Jalen Waddle has a ton of upside there for our flex. DeAndre Swift, Travion, players we can flex easily as well if we need to, if you're playing double flex. Rams and Brandon Aubrey. Rams top 3 defense in my opinion. Brandon Aubrey's the best kicker in the league. Josh Downs, Casey Concepcion, Deebo Samuel. A ton of upside there in terms of receiving. They have potential to be super productive. And then Patrick Mahomes, if he is available, definitely take him. He's a stash. You can play him later. You can trade him. If he's not available, probably go for a player like Chig. I think Chig is going to be a nice addition as well for tight ends. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is the type of team you can be building from the 104. I hope this is beneficial. You got something from it. And I will see you guys in the next one where we'll be drafting from the 105.